Homies in the place with style and grace.
Allow me to. I'm not going. I'm not taking the bait. Here it
The
goes,
ID80.
man. Your pushes.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's the ID84 show live here, episode 190, live from our designated locations. Everything says we're live. We're live. Sorry for the delay. We're about 13 minutes late, but that is because of the fundamental system that we use for internet called Xfinity.
Yes.
Something should be off because they changed their name about 15 times in the last 15 years. So maybe that should have been a red flag.
Should be.
Do you remember when it was called Broadband? It's the way. Back in like 1999, that was the commercial.
Yeah. Were they Media One at one point?
Media One, yes.
Was that them?
I think Media One first. Then there was, maybe that was their slogan for Media One. It was Media One, Broadband. It's the way.
Yeah.
And then Comcast over the time, and then fucking Xfinity and all this stuff sucks. Or it could be Facebook may not want me streaming right now because they don't like me. But I dealt them high enough on their level of radar to want to do any damage to. They probably don't even know I exist, which I like it better that way. I'm not as crazy as some people we know who go wild, buck wild over certain things. Should we talk about Crazy Man real quick?
We could. I do want to touch upon something real quick, actually, that I want to talk about. Well, we can talk about Crazy Man first, though. Good.
Real quick. Crazy Man, a.k.a. Eric Danger Powers. Let's see. Hold on. Basically went off this morning because he was watching Toucher and Rich. and Ashley Alexa, if you don't know, she's a plus size, like not a porn star, but like adult model, I guess you could say she is, right? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, she doesn't do porn. She's just like a model. She's a plus size model. Yeah.
So back in 2011, she was in the Miss Playboy social contest, and she came on Eric and I's show. And then Eric, apparently to this day, thinks she owes us something. He gets really, really mad. I don't know.
Yeah, he feels like entitled. Like it'd be one thing if the show was like popular or like famous or anything like that, but you're not making her famous. You know, it's like she's just another. Like I don't understand his logic at all.
Yeah, and it was funny though because it was like one of I've saved almost every episode since I did of radio since I've been in college, and this was like one of the very, very, very few episodes that never got saved for some reason.
Yeah,
like a hard drive went bad or a thumb drive went bad. I never ever got that episode, and it's like killing me to this day. But it's actually probably for the better because every day when Mr. Powers would get angry, he would just have an outburst and probably post.
I'm thinking there's something deeper about. I'm thinking he struck out really hard. I don't mean like pop up in and out. I mean like strike out looking, looking really bad. Yeah,
three pitches right down the middle, and he didn't even fight. Yeah, that could be it. But
that is some resentment. But
yeah, well, we're gonna add real quick. I think I guess for the night just joined the waiting room, so we're gonna bring him on very shortly.
Oh yeah, we will. Yeah, for sure.
And you may think he looks very familiar because you may have seen someone who maybe kind of looks like him.
I've actually been looking forward to this only because like I get to have a drink here and talk to my friend, and I get to talk to my brother, and it's actually kind of nice and relaxing. I'm looking forward to it.
This may be the first family member that's ever been on the show, other than my mother popping in occasionally. But other than that,
she popped in like once or twice. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but before we bring your brother on, what did you want to add?
I just wanted to say no, because there is one thing that you and I are both rooting for, and it is the USA basketball team to fail. They lost to France.
Yes,
they did beat Iran yesterday, 120-66.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, they scored them. Now, if they win Saturday against the Czech Republic, it would get them into the medal round. Okay. So I might be at your work rooting against them.
Yeah, I'll be rooting against them as well. The Czechs, though, that's actually a pretty good matchup for the Czechs. They're not bad at basketball. So the Iranians, I never really ever heard of them having an outstanding basketball team going on over there. And in fact, I really haven't heard of many Iranians doing very well in any sports that really stood out. But yes, the Olympics are on, and I forgot about them. I didn't realize the Olympics were on until Sunday. Apparently, the open ceremonies were on Friday. And another team I really hope loses too is the women's soccer team too. Those are the two teams I'm rooting for. As an American, I love all American teams except for those two teams because they're all pompous asses. And my opinion of them is that they made such a point of being so anti-American, but they want to represent the United States in the Olympics. Why don't you just do what Russia did and be like the Olympic athletes of Russia? Because technically the country of Russia can't compete, which is fucking still bizarre to me at this point. I have no idea what the hell that means.
Yeah, they have to compete as like individuals or something.
It's like, so fucking weird. Isn't that the weirdest thing ever?
It is weird. We do lead the medal count right now. Where we got 31, then China 27.
Let me guess. The people of Russia is the next one. The third.
ROC, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're third, 23, and then Japan 22.
Okay. What else? Yeah. What else is new? That's every year. It's always us, the Chinese, and then the Russians.
I kind of don't go by. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of don't go by total medal. I go by gold medal. Yeah, exactly. We're second in that. China's leading gold medal.
Of course they are, because they know if they lose gold, they're gonna bomb Japan. And just wait till the Olympics are in Shanghai, which is Shanghai in a couple of years. Yeah. Wait till that happens. If you like, I was listening to the guy on the radio today. He said something funny. He goes, "All right, United States, you lose." Like with that Simone Biles, who doesn't, she said, obviously having a brain fart and doesn't want to compete anymore. Which is fine. You have mental shit going on, but like you're fucking your team over. Cause it's not like it was just an individual thing that she dropped out of. She dropped out of the team competition, and she's really good, but she made them get a silver instead of possibly a gold, which I would be really pissed off if I was a teammate. If it's one thing if you're just taking yourself out of an individual challenge and saying, hey, fuck it, and just hanging there for the team. You know, that's what most people should do. But they were talking about like if it was the Russians would be like, I'm not sure if you could compete or not. Let's see what we could do. And then they put you in a fucking Siberia and you're chopping ice with bricks. And then they do the Chinese. The Chinese would be like, and then they just kill you. So I mean, it's as simple as that. Oh God, I think we lost everyone again. Everything again. The fucking internet's dying again. Everything's frozen. This is unbelievable.
No, you're back. Okay. I lost you for a little bit. Yeah.
God, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to smash my router against the sidewalk. Sue thinks we need Sue thinks it's the router. She thinks that we have an outdated router and we need it to be updated. Because it is, she says it's 6 years old. So it possibly could be the situation. It could just be the router being bad. So I'm going to go on a limb and say maybe that's the case. I might just buy one because you bought your own router, right? Oh, you just lost him again. Nothing.
Hello again. Mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
But I can't hear you.
There we go. Of course.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah.
I just texted my brother a few minutes ago saying we're bringing you in very shortly. Just technical difficulties.
I think I hear you in the mic now.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's just fucking just get us back online. I got like 3 angry phone calls tomorrow. This is going to be one of them. I'm going to tell you. You're going to hear me fucking lose my mind on Comcast tomorrow. This is the last fucking straw. It's just ridiculous. It's every week.
Yeah, it's becoming a major problem. It's gone beyond inconvenience. Like I'm thinking if it drops out again, we should just call it. Me and my brother will just catch up.
It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't such a pain in the ass to get everything set up. It takes like 5 minutes to get everything set up every time it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to use the OBS. You got to get that going. Then you got to get the fucking stream going.
I almost just brought him in because it defaulted to me once you leave. And I was like, I'll give him an intro.
All right, we're live back on. So we're back. We had disconnected for a second, but we're going to be back. We might as well just bring on the guest at this point.
Let's just bring him in.
Adam, want to bring him in?
I will. Joining us now from the Garden State, New Jersey, the man, the myth, who's on mute.
He's probably on mute. I'm pretty sure he's like, what the fuck's going on?
What's going on?
There he goes. He's off mute.
Wow, congratulations.
We figured it out.
It's
your first day. It's your first day. Congratulations.
I gotta tell you, this is a situation that has been going on weekly since we've experimented with the stream. It's such a fucking pain in the ass, to be honest with you.
You mean we didn't break the internet? It wasn't all the millions of people that were just clamoring to see our banter on the show?
You know what? I'll go with that. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that would be great if that was the case. It was just basically we were that popular. Everyone wanted to talk to us. With us, of course, Adam's brother, first family member on the show, Ryan Mallett, not to be confused with the former quarterback for the New England Patriots.
It's true.
Yes, and I get that often. As you can see, we do look very much alike.
Well,
also,
I can't
I'd like
see.
to point out, Adam is Adam Mallett, and I am Ryan Mallett.
Oh, please.
And he doesn't want to share his video of us today.
I just don't want to share his video.
It's very serious. Let me take my my little picture off there. I was doing something I shouldn't be doing on camera, so let me just wrap that up.
I understand.
Yeah,
right.
Adam, I know you probably understand. And then
I get it. I don't know what that means, but
there I am.
There he is.
With his Funko Pops. He's the one who started this whole thing for me.
That's for you, Adam.
You guys literally look like your brothers. I mean,
yeah.
To the Funko Pops
weird.
and all.
It's so weird. You know what? I'm unvaccinated. There's a lot of weird data and whatever. So I'm wearing this because I'm within 6 feet of my phone, and I don't know if I can transmit through.
It's all right.
There. Right, and they change stuff around here all the time, and it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and our mom is very whatever about it. So, do you want me to take this off? Is that okay? Are you comfortable?
It's okay. I'm unvaccinated too.
I think
I'll take a chance. Yes, I'm with you.
There you go.
Yeah. I gotta say, your Funko Pop collection. You get some of the big ones back there, huh?
Dude, I don't mess around.
Mess around.
Yeah, I don't mess around, man. I don't mess around. I have my, like my brother, Adam, you have the same thing where you can tell how much those things are worth, right?
Yep.
So yeah, when I go to purchase, I know exactly what I'm purchasing, and I got some pretty expensive ones. I have one that's actually, I think it's close to $150 now, or close to $200. So
damn.
Yeah. It's his fault. I used to make fun of the whole thing.
I was gonna say he started and you jumped on board.
Horrible. I remember I went to Comic-Con in Boston, and I'm walking around and everyone's selling Funko Pops. And I'm like, look at all these.
Yeah. You shit on me. You shit on me for so long, and then all of a sudden I get this like text, and you're like very passive about it. Like, oh, I decided I picked it up. It looked cool, and now you have this like massive thing of Pops like in your place. So
I do. But the problem is now I have kind of all the ones that I wanted. So it's like, now it's really slowed. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, that's on pre-order. I'll scoop that one up once it becomes available.
I remember
it's impacted your addiction.
Well, I remember it started like last summer, like when we had nothing to do, we couldn't do anything. All of a sudden, Adam's like, oh, he's online. He's like, oh, I got these Funko Pops. I was starting to collect Legos too at the same time. So me and him are on like online spending our friggin' paychecks on like hobbies at this point. Now it just became like, now it's just regular day in the office for us to compare.
Right.
I did try to
Legos and Funko.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
I tried to do to Arty kind of what you did to me. I like introduced. I had ulterior motives because like his wife doesn't want him getting them because he's got Legos.
Yeah,
Lego City downstairs. But that doesn't mean I can't buy them for him, right?
So, I got a few here. Actually, Adam got me the creepy Larry Bird mustache one, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then
he's a basketball guy, so
yeah, I was in Target and I came across the Wally the Green Monster one. I thought that was pretty cool.
All right, okay.
then I tried getting my wife involved. So for Christmas last year, she's a big Saints fan. I bought her the Drew Brees Funko Pop, but this hasn't left my office. This has been she's actually put it in there. So I understand now. So
yeah, my girlfriend calls them dolls, and I did the same thing. I got her like and they're not dolls.
It's not a doll.
I got her a Wonder Woman and a She-Ra, and that was okay. But now, like, that's max capacity, no more. Like, we're good.
Now, it looks like you have like. So, is that your entire collection right there, or has it expanded?
No, so it goes from the floor.
Okay.
I see the Marty. I see the Marty one I got you. Right there, nice.
I have two. Hold on.
You have two Martys?
Oh yeah, man, dude, I don't mess around. So look, it goes all the way from down there.
Wow. Okay.
All right, and then it goes all up to here, and then it goes over there.
Yeah.
Have you seen that YouTuber yet that has like every Funko Pop made? Like he goes through his entire like collection. It's like unbelievable.
But you see, what I don't understand is he must be like a rich little brat because like, how do you have enough money at that age to get those? Bullshit.
Like a little Asian kid. He has like every single one of them. He goes through his room, but he must just buy them just to buy them, right? He's not buying them because he like likes a particular. Like you like guys buy them because you like a particular one. Like, you know, it's no sense of buying like the Betty White one from Golden Girls if you're not really into Golden Girls. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny because FYE has Blanche, and that thing is actually worth like $35.
Do they really? Yeah, I would imagine that's probably a big seller. She gets around, Blanche.
She did.
It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So
what's going on?
I don't have the accent. I don't have the accent, but I did wear the flannel to make me feel more New England-y. All right.
Well, Adam would say you've been in Jersey for quite some time now, so it's
man. I was in Jersey like 17 years before I moved to Florida for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then I came back. So yeah, and before that, Adam might have a different version of this story, but often he does.
That doesn't mean it's not wrong.
But I never really had like I wouldn't say you have like a thick accent, but you do have it's very known like you have an accent, right?
Yeah, I know mine comes out more when I'm talking fast. I'm going into an animated story.
Right. That's then you start skipping the G's and the R's and the right. Yeah. So I only do that when I'm home, like when I'm in Boston. But most of the time, even when I lived there, like I used to cashier at Marshall's or Marshall's.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fancy,
and people used to ask me where I'm from, but I was from 2 streets over from Marshall's. Like you know what I mean? Like, where are you from? Florida? And I was like, what the hell? What does a Floridian sound like? And they're like, they sound like a bunch of everything because nobody's really from Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never really had one that's right. I agree with you on that. No, you never really did.
I get the same like when I work. So I work at the bar a couple nights a week, and we get like tourists that come in from the hotel, and they say to me, they're like, "Where are you from? You're not from around here." I'm like, "No, I am. I'm literally from Revere. I literally grew up like you said, 2 blocks away from where this place is right now." And it's like, do you not know what the accent is? Are you confused by the accent? Is your idea of an accent the really bad TV version of the accent that people do, and that's what you associate with? Like, there's like the bad New York accent, right? You get like It's like it's not really how they talk. There's a twang to it, but there's not. It's very confusing to people from the Midwest, I think. So.
Well, it's funny. I watched a couple of your previous shows, and some girl said that she thought it was hot, your accent, and I was like, that's no.
Some girls do though. So I've hammed it
He's
up.
A comedian, Adam.
There are times.
Hey,
there are times I've been in California and like I would dial that up.
She's from California. That says it all. She's California and a comedian. Like right there, it's like BS.
Yeah.
She's a really good actor. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, do we have a chance? I'm like, no.
You're saying there's a chance.
And she was from like what, like was she from like the Middle East or something like that? Or if she was like Iranian or something
she was like in Ohio. Yeah.
Right.
She was an Iranian from Ohio, which is very odd. Yeah. That doesn't usually happen very often.
That wound up in California.
Yeah.
Who would have figured that?
Yeah. So, bro, what's going on in New York lately? I remember, I've seen, some of your texts throughout the months of like, the amount of COVID testing and everything going on there. Is it, is it like opening up more in terms of like for acting and auditioning and all that stuff?
Yeah. So it's really cool that it has opened up a lot more in the last Jesus, what are we in, like July? Definitely in the last 6 months, and especially theater. Theater took like something like billions of dollars of a hit, you know, in that industry because everything was closed. So it's good to see like there's a lot more theater that's coming back. I'm not a theater guy. I wish I could totally do that, but that's not me. But the amount of like castings and things that I'm seeing now, I mean, it's like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, which is great. And a lot of that too, you're seeing a lot more of the diverse castings too. So that's kind of like in a big uptick as well.
Yeah. I remember early in June, you said you were doing I was reading through some of your texts earlier. It's just kind of great because usually before a show, I'm like scrounging around trying to think about like
he's online, usually looking at some people's stuff.
Right? I'm like researching, trying to figure out how I can identify these people, and like this was like a no-brainer. This is like a slam dunk. It's like this is me talking to my.
It'd be a problem. Is that easy?
Is that Adam? Is that what you do? Like when you guys flip back and forth, and like they see you, and you're like this, like you look like you're. Dude,
he's on his other monitor. He's looking over here. He's like,
I am. I got my monitor right over here.
His line usually, I see that you're usually into such and such. And he's like, oh, yeah.
I got to lead it in somehow, right? But I knew you were doing an HBO series in June. And also you mentioned something about a character named Andy Graham Crackers.
That's interesting.
I didn't want to go into the story because I don't know if you can talk about how you got that because this is publicly. I know. I didn't tell Arty the story. I don't know if you want to share that story or not, because I don't know if that's still ongoing. But the story you told me via text, I thought was pretty funny how you got that role. But is that still ongoing?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So I don't even know what's going on with Andy Graham Crackers, if I'm being very honest. So Arty, basically how the story goes is
this is good.
Yeah, so like I submit for a lot of stuff, right? And you know, you submit for like 100 things, like maybe like 5. Content, right? And I was reading through it, and I don't know, it was just kind of like weird. And then the guy texted or messaged me on like a Saturday night. And I remember we were watching the new Jason Statham movie. We were at the movies, right? I'm like, what? This guy is so weird. He just keeps like emailing me through the casting service.
He's like, hey, look, Ryan Mallett, the old ex-football player, liked the post, right? And then I'm like, no, let me see that. And I looked at it.
Yeah.
It's quarterback. It's still a football player. That's Ryan Mallett, just not that Ryan Mallett. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Sorry,
we're taking over. So we're taking over with the new Illuminati.
I want to know what's the. We'll get back to your story in a second because I heard you. We ended at the last thing I heard was the guy was hitting you through the messenger over the app for the gig.
Eddie Graham Crackers.
Eddie Graham, yes, Andy Graham Crackers. But what's the thing? What's the deal with Ryan Mallett's play? Do you ever play football? Were you a quarterback? Because there's, like Adam said, there's two that exist, spelled exactly the same.
I think like in high school, like you could arguably say that I played football. Like I dressed.
Yeah, I know.
I got on the field. I got on the field enough to letter.
Yeah. Yes, I had to sit at those games to watch you play like 3 snaps.
Oh my god! With mom with the cowbell. Oh my god!
Yes.
You guys are like 10 years apart, right? So when you're in high school, you're Adam. So you're in high school, Adam. You're in like elementary school at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Getting dragged out there. So if it's Ninja Turtles, try to stay.
It's pretty big when you're younger. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so Andy Graham Crackers. The guy's hitting you up on a Saturday. It's the last thing I heard. I need to know the end of this.
It was great. So I was like, this guy's like all over the place. Like I don't want anything to do with it. I can't, like, you know, I'm not trying to sound like a prima donna, but I can't work with someone who's supposed to be in charge that is so all over the map, because then what happens, like I get on set and then they're going to be all over the map, you know, like I hate it sounds like very pretentious, but like I just can't work in those conditions.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, like Adam said, you know, I was just like, listen, you know, thank you for the opportunity. Very gracious. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, I do have other projects that I did commit to. So I'm not going to be able to do it. So then he just said like, well, I want to give you this role. And I was like, wow, that's the least amount of, I didn't even have to cast for it. So like that was kind of cool. But then, you know, he starts hitting me up on the regular email. And I think the idea of what he wants to do is like a profit share for the talent and the people that are involved in the project, right?
Okay.
But the problem with that is that the scheduling, like he sent out scheduling, and it was kind of like, if he was to explain it to me verbally, it would be like incoherent. Like it was, again, it was kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like for me to kind of see what he's doing in those projects, because they kind of already exist, I would have to pay to see that project. And I'm like, no, that's not, no. And, you know, then I get an email like, oh, we have these discount coupons, you know, you can do this and this. And I was like, I get it, because he wants like you to go pay $1 to go see it. And then out of that $1, every one of us involved will get something where we, you know, usually you're not getting paid, right? Unless it's like a really good gig. So,
yeah.
But he just keeps emailing and I just don't even acknowledge. Andy Graham crackers is no more. Somebody
I mean, in theory, the idea of it sounds, I mean, that makes sense, but like you need to know what the long-term outcome of this is going to be, right? Otherwise you just doing nothing for nothing. It's like, what the fuck? It's like
I need a better detailed outline of what's going on here to really kind of, if I knew that in the beginning, I would have been like, no, I'm not going to pay to watch my own project that I'm in. Like, that's dumb. Like, I don't, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah. It's bad enough Adam and I have to search out stuff on YouTube of like stuff that we and him have done, and we can't find it. I have a DVD of a movie I did back in 2006. I was like a college film and stuff like this. I was looking at it one day. I'm like, it's all I have. It doesn't exist anywhere else. The people who are in it who have no idea this even exists anymore. And then Adam and I were watching one of the ones he did. It was
John Boy.
You
can still find John Boy. I'm not gonna say how to find it. I do have it on DVD though. I started it. It was like a 30-minute short.
Yeah.
It's not. There's actually like maybe 2 out of like the 7 scenes. I'd say there's 2 really good ones. Okay.
Well, so the funny part is he did the movie with a guy that I knew, that was also an actor who used to come into the bar I worked at all the time. He was one of my regulars. And I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm looking at the guy. I'm like, I know that guy. I'm like, this was all happening at the same time, because this was before I met Adam, but this was being filmed while I knew this guy coming to the bar. Like, you figure, 5 years later, it all comes up. I'm like, oh shit, this guy right there.
Small world.
You know what I find frustrating between both of us is that there's a lot of creativity, I think, between both of us, but there's like nothing. I feel like if there was a third brother, he'd have it all. Like, I feel like, Ryan, you have
the smarts, I have the looks, and then we need the third guy to bring it all together.
I was sadly just going to say that. You got the stone cold blue eyes and the look going down. I have I'm more of like the talker, and I can like bring out the charismatic. I feel like if the third brother, we'd both resent him.
You would hate him.
Let's dial it back a little bit. Okay. I have charisma and I can speak as well.
I didn't say you couldn't. I'm highlighting both sides.
The third Mallett would be the lover boy.
Are you going to throw out the older brother syndrome and not give me credit for anything? All right. Is that we're going with
there? The worst would be if it was the middle brother, because then you'd both hate him, because he'd be like the guy in the middle. And
you're right.
Like, he's my little brother. Right. And Adam would be looking at him like, who the fuck's this middle brother guy? I'm supposed to be the baby. Right. Getting all the attention here.
I'd beat him up because I'm the older brother, and then Adam would just like pester the shit out of him until he like jumped off a bridge.
Pretty much. Right. That's pretty much it.
That'd be a good. I'm actually upset there's not a third Mallett, because I'd love to see that situation go out.
I mean, Adam, we could take applications for a small monthly fee. Someone could be another Mallett.
We could interview them, see if they look the part.
I'm sure your mom would love another kid. I'm sure she would.
That woman. I love Mom. I love her. She's a lot like Arty's mom, actually, in some ways. She has these brain crazy thoughts and says things. And like recently I texted you this. She didn't tell you that she had like a rodent in her apartment. A rat in her apartment, and she was like okay with it. She's like, I'm like the animal whisperer. Like, I could tell though somebody owned it. Like, it wasn't like a sewer rat. Like, it just walked through the hallway and into the closet. And I opened the closet. He's looking at me with his little face, and then like he swooped out through the door. And I'm like, you didn't freaking freak out? She's like, no. You could tell he was somebody's pet. And I'm like,
interesting.
That's your mother.
Where's your poor mother living that people have rats as pets in their apartments? I mean, Adam, you haven't. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say you don't have an extra bedroom. I was gonna say you can invite your mom. You'd be more than happy to take care of her. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
He's like,
yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not getting a house pure for that purpose.
No. Oh,
me and my sister have a bet. We pretty much have like it's not of a bet. It's more of a standoff of who's going to take my mother in. And I already claimed my mother-in-law, and so I at this point said I really can't take two senior citizens at the same time. I don't have the ability. I don't have the financial support of this. You know, so I go to my sister, I'm like, you're gonna have to take Ma. You know, that's at the end of the day, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So.
Well, Adam, based on the geographical, situation.
Well, yeah, I remember when she wouldn't answer her phone, and I had to drive over there.
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah,
remember me losing my mind over that, and
I'm like, dude, just go. You live 2 minutes away.
Well, it wasn't that I didn't want to go; it was I was afraid what I was going to find out. You know, and I remember I was on the phone with you, and I'm like, what do we do? It's like, right?
Like,
call the
right? The first thing you do. Call a camera crew, get an A&E show.
Yeah, isn't that the worst? Yeah, I mean that's oh god. My mother-in-law has a similar situation. We were down in we were on vacation one day, and she usually texts my wife back and forth, and she's not texting her. It's an hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, 3 hours. Now we're getting nervous. We're in Pennsylvania. She's down in Tennessee, and we're like, I'm starting to think to her. I'm like, are we getting in the car and driving to Tennessee and see what the fuck? So she's texting people that she knows to go, do a wellness check, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
She was fine. She had put her phone on silent and didn't know how to take it off.
Sounds about right.
That was basically the end of the day right there. Yeah. I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? It's the best case scenario, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's that's what happens when you deal with our elderly parents. They just don't know,
Yeah.
That'll be us one day.
Yes, they will be.
Yeah.
And Ryan, you don't have any kids, do you? No,
just a cat.
Yeah.
Sunny boy.
Yeah.
You guys will be like roomed up. You never know. It'd be like a TV show. Brothers roomed up, retirement. You know what I mean?
Collecting Funko Pops.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. You guys got rid of all your assets except for your Funko Pops, and you're sitting there and you're just like, this is what you're gonna die on. These things right there,
I don't know if that sounds cool or depressing. Kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you have a hobby, right? We have a buddy, Eric, who has no hobbies whatsoever. So I mean, and he's about your age. He's about your age, and he went off this morning. Adam and I were talking about before we brought you on about this girl that did our show years ago, and he's very upset that she's never gave us credit. I'm like, it's been like 11 years ago.
Yeah, like he's delusional and thinking that like this made her famous when it didn't at all.
Yeah.
Like,
we were on an online radio show in like the Leather District of Boston, and there's like a shithole fucking online studio, and she came on, and I spent the entire time trying to have sex with her mother, like through the phone. So I'm like, very little progress was made during this show. But whatever. Maybe it helped a little. Maybe we got her one like or two. I know I liked it, so it was all good at the end of the day. But at least you guys love the Funko Pops. I always would be concerned about like if there's a fire, like that shit would melt like crazy. Like my Legos would melt too. Like it would be a pile of like plastic, like just gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably accelerate the problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's petroleum based, right? That stuff would just go up like a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah. At least, hey, you know what? Do it big. You go big or go home. So
death by Funko Pop.
You said when Arty was gone, you said that there's something for you said TLC or A&E?
ID. It was ID channel.
Oh, ID channel. What's that all about?
Yeah. So it's a show. It's a new show, and it's called Calls from the Inside, and it's about prisoners and the phone calls that they make from inside the jails.
Nice.
Yeah. So apparently these are real calls, but like the actors, we like reenact kind of what they're doing in the jail, right? So
Okay.
You
okay. I'm on the home page.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like you won't see me. You won't see me like this.
Yeah.
But you will kind of like see me like on the phone or
Gotcha. Okay.
doing something. So I got to play a prisoner.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I got to be honest with you, man. Like it was in Union County Jail, and that particular jail is closed. There's no inmates, but there are corrections officers. So production had the run of the place, and it is quite a humbling experience to be in the jumpsuit with the same shoes, and some of what I shot was in like a cell, like like a normal prisoner would be in, and then some of it was in like maximum security pens, I guess you would call them.
Yeah.
And man, I said to my girlfriend and anybody that we talked to about this was like, I don't know how anyone would go to jail and then get out and then do something stupid to risk going back to a place that is so dehumanizing.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're telling me to be like, be agitated, like show this and that. And it was a lot of improv, like that's a strength of mine. And they were like, kind of show us a little bit of this and this. And I was like, after like 3 minutes in that cell, it's really not a lot of acting. It's pretty much like I'm agitated and want to get the fuck out of the cell.
Yeah. Like a girl at that point, right? Jesus.
God. So like, I don't know why people continue to do dumb things to put them back into that box. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
I've thought about that, and I think some of it has to do with like it's just what you know. Like you get out, is it going to be that easy to find a job? Where are you going to live? It's just easier. Right. It's like at least you got some walls and a bed, and yeah, it sucks, but
no responsibility, right? I mean, you just gotta you get three. Someone told me you get 3 solid meals a day, and you don't have to pay any bills. Like that's like a perk, I guess.
And free cable and an education. You can get an education too, but like they have their own little society. I have a couple friends that are corrections officers, and they are, I mean, you're right, to a degree, some of the really violent ones, like, that's pretty much all they know. And they're probably not going to acclimate very well to, normal society. But, man, it's just like, even seeing some of the SWAT stuff, and I forget what they call this chair, but it's a chair that's like super low to the ground and it's angled. So what they do is they restrain the really bad inmates that are like trying to stab the officers or like really like causing issues in the in the cell blocks, and they cuff them, and then there's a spot on the chair that like the cuffs kind of sink into, right? So like you're kind of like your arms are cuffed, and then they're kind of like set in a spot, and then you're back like this, and you can't headbutt anybody.
Oh wow.
You're so low you can't get like a center of gravity, so you can't get momentum or anything like that. And then there's like a 5-point restraint. And I asked one of the officers there, like, so what person is this for? So he tells me, and he's like, every 30 minutes, a nurse has to check their pulse and their vitals. And then every hour they have to get them up and then walk them around the cell block and then put them back in the chair. When they get that chair, they're in there for 4 hours.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez,
you gotta be a pretty shitty person to get in that chair.
Yeah.
that takes commitment.
Well, I'm always fascinated. They had that show. Was that locked up for 30 days or something like that? Where you voluntarily go in.
Yep.
And like, how much of it's real or not, I don't know. But it's basically you go in, and then these guys, like these criminals, are finding like gangs to join and stuff, like trying to like hang out and try to like just survive. Like, I don't know. That would be traumatizing. I was locked up for 4 hours once, and that was enough to make me never want to be locked up again. So
exactly.
That was in a city jail. You know what I mean? So it's not like it was like county or federal or state prison or anything like that. This was like I had to wipe my ass with a sock. It was like one of those situations. And I can't imagine, like, that was enough. That like scared straight. I was scared straight. Don't do that again. So.
Yeah, it's very real. And, a lot of the writing and stuff, some of these inmates, like, praying to God, whatever, whatever's on the walls, like, is still there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not a set. Like, that is real. So it's kind of like.
That's fucking crazy.
It's like, it's completely bonkers. It blew my mind. I'm like, I never, ever. That's the only time you're ever going to see me in a jumpsuit.
Hopefully, right? Yeah.
Well,
yeah. How long did it film for?
We were there 12 hours.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's enough to make you go home and appreciate every little friggin' single thing you can do.
Absolutely, because again, it's you're in that jail, and then it's acting is fun, but like sometimes it's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's like demanding work, like it's not like being a construction worker or a cop or anything, but I mean you're hurry up and wait, stand around, do this, and then you're under a hot light for whatever. I mean, first world problems, but on top of the stress of being in an actual jail is kind of like, oh my God.
But it's a mental thing too, because you almost get your head into that zone. You gotta like fall into that character. You gotta kind of be where you can be, right? So like, it's not just like you show up and you like read a few lines and you call it a day. Like you gotta to do it right. You gotta like embed yourself, and that's why a lot of these actors kind of go a little cuckoo afterwards. I think who did they the guy who did Whitey Bulger,
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, when he did what, Batman, he was like the wasn't he
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. That's all I'm thinking. Christian Bale. Okay, yes. He kind of went a little cuckoo afterwards because he's just so in depth into his character.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy shit! Like I can see that happen. Oh, Johnny Depp was like that with the Pirates of the Caribbean. He kind of got he thought he was that character. He was walking around, thought he was Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, well, I remember when Val Kilmer played Jim Morrison in The Doors. He said it took like over a year for him to get back to who he was. Like he was just so into that character. And it's like, I have so much respect for actors and everything, but it's like I gave it like a go, like an actual go, and try for a year to see what it'd be like. And it's just a lot of it's just not for me. It's a lot of standing around. I met some great women. I'll say that. Yeah. Women, but I remember I went to this like New Jersey nut house that was being torn down, and we filmed in there. And like, really, I was just kind of there because I wanted to sleep with a girl, right? And I knew her, and she brought me along with her. And we went. This place was being turned down. I don't know. There's asbestos there. I don't know. The landlord whatever. We were gonna let the building be knocked down in a week, and it was fine. But like, it's just it's a lot of like standing around. It's like
20 years from now, you're gonna be on one of those mesothelioma commercials. Be like, I was doing a video. I got the asbestos in me. I was trying to bang a broad, and that didn't turn out very well. So
it turned out actually really great, but it wouldn't be worth getting mesothelioma. But
right, Ryan, are you into like the supernatural type stuff like your brother is, like ghosts and like stuff? Like me and him did a tour of this like haunted house down in Savannah, which was really, really cool.
Okay,
but I'm not sure. Are you into that kind of like supernatural stuff as well, or?
Yeah, I mean, we grew up in a house that was 100% haunted. I'm sure he told you that.
Okay, all right.
Yep, and I definitely, to what extent a lot of that is it's like UFOs, right? Like you got 1 million cases, and out of 1 million, like what percent is like real? There's definitely a percent that is real.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I've always said all those, like 99% of them can be fake. But remember, only one of them needs to be real.
Correct. That is 100% right.
Everything. And there's just too many. So even if one of them is right, it doesn't matter.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Adam, mom was abducted, right?
You know what? I'm not laughing, man. I'm not kidding. Like her story is like, it makes sense why I've always been kind of like intrigued with the whole UFO thing, and I never knew why. And then like out of the blue, like 2 years ago, she tells me this fucking story about how, like, did she ever tell you? She hasn't told you this, I'm assuming.
No, you told me the story that she told you. She didn't tell me.
Which, by the way, I love how as I get older, like little things like seep out that I didn't know. Like,
they feel more comfortable now.
She was married to somebody else before Dad. Did you know that? Yeah, you didn't know that? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, she was. I just found that out like a fucking year ago. Right?
Oh, God.
Where was I?
Not born yet, I guess.
Maybe there's a third Mallett somewhere.
Maybe you found your third brother. Maybe you found the third brother that you guys need to close the circle.
Yeah, she was married to some dude who she was friends with, and then he went to the army. They were just better off as friends. And I'm like, because it was when Sal was going through his surgery, and like they were just flipping through photos, and Mom's like there's some old photos at Sal's, and like looking through all this stuff, right? And I'm like, and then she said, oh, that's so and so. I'm like, who's that? She's like, oh, that's like somebody. That's like my ex-husband. And I was like, that's not Dad, right? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, wait, back up. Wait, you were married before Dad? She's like, yeah. It was like less than a year though. It wasn't long.
Jesus.
Right? And I'm like, you just felt like not sharing this information ever. And mom's like, how is this going to come up?
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
It's not something you bring up. Like, hey, by the way, like, how do you work that into a conversation?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Yeah.
She's very good at compartmentalization though. So, like, oh, by the way, didn't I tell you I was married before your dad with like 7 kids? Oh, there was no chance for it to come up.
I remember exactly what it was. Sorry, it wasn't a photo. She's like, oh, this is, I guess her parents paid the bill from her first wedding was in the photos. She's like, oh, it's the bill for my first wedding. I went, first wedding? First wedding? Wait, first wedding?
Who keeps the bill?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of odd that she kept the bill. And then second of all, did she talk about kids? Was that?
No. They were just no.
Yeah.
That of Ancestry.com. That's why she's into that.
No, but like I was shocked. I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't know that. I was shocked by it. I'm like, oh, Ryan must know this.
Did you ask him?
Learning new family things on the Arty 84 show.
Yeah. Well, did you say to her, hey, is there anything else you want to tell me? No, I dated a girl once, and we were eating dinner one night, and I found out that, well, we all found out collectively, including her husband at the time, found out that she was married before too. It was a very awkward dinner. I don't know how it came up. The grandmother was losing her mind, and she said something like, yeah, like your first marriage, and everyone just went
like wedding crashers.
Yeah,
But back to the UFO story though. She had said that her and her friend, she's like, I only remember this day because I remember it was my best friend's boyfriend got his ass kicked that day. She's like, that's the only reason why I remember. She's like, we're walking and we see this like disc like hovering above a tree line. It's just sitting there. It's not making a noise. And she's like, and then I just sort of forgot about it. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. And like my eyes lit up. I'm like, that's like the symptom of like an abductee. She's like, I didn't think about it until years later. I can't remember anything about that. I remember the next day. I don't really remember anything. And I'm like, fuck.
Then she's like, wait, I remember an owl, but it's not an owl.
Dude, that fucking movie, The Fourth Kind. I'm not talking about that movie's fucked.
Did you make sure she wasn't popping, like she wasn't experimenting with like any acid or anything at the time?
That's a very valid question.
Yeah, it was the 60s, right? So, I mean, anything's possible.
Right, taking it again.
Maybe she was saying stuff. Who knows? I mean, that's possible. But
I don't know that age. But
where did it happen?
It was in I think Saugus.
Okay.
Or Malden, somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in the greater North Shore area.
Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't by Revere Beach.
It was probably Revere Beach.
By Kelly's.
But I asked her to email her friend about it. I guess her friend is still alive, and she email occasionally. They've never talked about it since. And I'm like, I want to know more about this. I kind of want to know more.
They haven't talked about it is actually very interesting because maybe it's suppressed that they didn't. Maybe it was so weird and out of body experience they didn't want to ever mention it again.
Or maybe just their memory was erased.
Or I have a theory. So apparently, as I just learned, my mother was married before.
Yes.
To someone in the military. Now, maybe that military connection is what brought the UFO to abduct my mom based on secrets she may have known from her first husband.
Oh, perhaps. There you go.
I'll roll with that.
Yeah.
We'll go. I like that. I'm writing that down.
That's
what we're going with.
That's how it happened.
That's very fast. It's actually pretty fascinating. It's imagine but you know what's funny? Because if someone got married nowadays and they got remarried, it wouldn't be such like a cliche thing. You'd just be like, yeah, I got married before, yeah. But like in the older days, like when our parents were like older, like that was something like, yeah, you don't talk about it unless someone asks about it. You know what I mean? So like your mother probably felt the need to tell you guys because why would she? Like it didn't really affect anything, right? It was never going to affect anything, you know. But like now, as they get older, they get more comfortable. They're like now they're just like an open vault. Like I can only imagine it. You sit there with your mom and dad for long enough, they'll probably start telling you stories. You'll be like, what? What did you?
The filters are lower.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, she was at Woodstock, and I don't want to know.
No, like, no one ever wants to know what their parents are doing at Woodstock. Yeah, no.
She claims nothing. She just like I remember half of it. Janet remembers the other half. Put those two together.
I'm sure she had a great time.
I'm like, tell me you didn't do acid. She's like, no, I never did acid. She's very adamant about that.
Okay.
But
there you go.
She told me she was one hit away from being crazy.
See, I
She said the last hit is up in the closet in her bedroom. She was keeping it for her Thelma and Louise, rent the car and go off the bridge for the grand finale without Nancy.
She does say that a lot, actually. She says she wants to go out that way. I've heard that. Yeah.
God. Well, hey, listen, it's fucking crazy.
Welcome to our family.
The more Adam describes, like, I've never met your mother before, but the way he describes her is very similar to my mother. I would say there's not much of a difference. Crazy older ladies.
His mom's adamant they're Native American.
Yes. My mother,
Wait, yes. You're related to Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. So to the fact that my wife and I did a DNA test, we sent it out. We got this because we wanted to know. So everything came back. Everything checked all the boxes. Like, I knew I was, 25% Italian, and that worked out. I knew my grandmother was from Russia and Germany. So all the percentage was checking out, and then the Irish and the Italian and the English all checked out. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't see any Native American whatsoever. And there's nothing that brings me
not even close.
Nothing. Everything I went back to like 16s, 15s, 1400s. It was all like coming in from like Nova Scotia and Maine, making their way down to Massachusetts. That's what the path I was taking. All the names matched up, the pitches, there was tombstones. I go to my mother, I go, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think we're Native American. And she's like, well, what makes you say that? I go, well, I did the DNA test, and there's not one like bit that like I was more Jewish. I was 1% Jewish that somehow came from the Middle East somewhere. And then I go, if that's the case, the Indian should have popped up somewhere along the line, especially when you're saying she was adamant that my great grandmother was a quarter Comanche Indian. And I go, the Comanche Indians weren't even anywhere near New England. They were in the middle of the country. When I go, how was she just wandering around? Like,
all it takes is one, Arty.
I guess so. And I go, well, maybe she was. I go, I hate to break it to you. I hate to call your grandmother a liar, but maybe she was just lying too. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe someone told her a story. You know what I mean? It's like, and it didn't have any like Indian name that to it. It was Parker. And she's like, well, Chief, Parker's a very English white name. And I tracked it back to the 13th century in England. I could figure out who your great grandfather times 10 is, because the name followed you all the way over and down. You know what I mean? And none of us she used to say that my great grandmother, had no hair, and like her kids had no like hair on them because they were Indian. And my grandfather could never grow a beard because he was Indian. And I go, maybe they just had low T. You know what I mean? I don't know.
He told his mom once that like I donated a kidney, and like she walks up to me and she's like, "You look really good," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Right? And like I didn't know the context of it until later.
So to sum it up, I had told my mother, because I like to fuck with her all the time, and she was buying this one, so I had her in, and my wife was on board, and she was kind of feeding into it. I go, Adam donated one of his kidneys, and she's like, really? I go, yeah. I go, and she's like, are you kidding me? Like, no. I'm like, somebody knows like needed it, and like he was a match, and he did. He was a good, nice guy. He did nothing like that, and I'm like, yeah, he's doing all right. He's fine. So I mean, this was like 2 months. I planted the seed. And then one day, everyone's over my old apartment. Adam's over, my parents are over, watching a game or something like that. And it happened to be like Adam was leaving the same time my mother was leaving, so they were walking to the car. And my mother goes, "Well, Adam, you look really good for someone who just donated a kidney."
What?
And then Adam, I got a text message from Adam. It's the same time my mother's calling. My mother goes, "You're a fucking asshole." I go, "What? What's the matter?" She goes, "You told me you donated a kidney." I asked him how he was doing. He was doing good. And I started like losing. I was laughing my ass off. So I go, why would you ask someone that? Or you can say, okay, that's a weird situation to ask him.
Well, it was a compliment. She said it looked good. So
maybe
someone donated a kidney.
Maybe she was planning it. You know what I mean? I'll walk out when Adam walks out.
Maybe.
You have the charisma.
I've seen your brother in action before. He is quite the gentleman. So
thank you.
He's the missile.
The problem is I can't hide my nerdiness. You can play cool for longer than I can. Like you can. I'm just a fucking dork. I just like it just comes right out. If you were like, Adam, I need you right now to be like really cool. I can soldier up for maybe an hour. I can hide it for maybe an hour and be legitimately cool, right? But sooner or later, I'm going to say something like, oh my God, that reminds me of Star Wars, like Tourette's, right? And like, it's just going to come right out. It's just going to happen, you know? But I could put it a real good hour, I think.
Okay, that's solid. Like that's good.
You know?
It happens to the best of us. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? They love us, they hate us. That's all they can do, you know? Yeah. So Ryan, we're getting to the end here. Do you have a website anyone want to plug?
Yeah, what are you going on? What got going on, buddy?
Anything going on? People can see.
Yeah, bro.
No, I mean just my Instagram. I don't do the website thing yet, but yeah, we have Succession season 3 is coming out, I think, in like 2 months. So you'll probably see this in there. And there's a Disney Plus show too. What is it? Better Nate Than Ever, I think, with Lisa Kudrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Check that out. And also Gossip Girl.
God, that's right. I forgot you were at I forgot you had a
what is that?
little cameo in the background.
What?
I know. Now I gotta know. What show?
What was it? There was some interference. I think it's your Comcast again.
He was saying, he did a little thing in Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
It was just a train station thing, right? It was. I remember.
No. This is the new Gossip Girl.
Oh, the new Gossip Girl.
The new Gossip Girl. Yes.
They liked you so much they brought you back.
Wait, weren't you at Penn Station for the intro of the pilot of the original?
Right. So this is where it's kind of funny, right? Is that a lot of the background work and a lot of the work that I've been doing on some of these shows, many years ago when I really first came to New Jersey and New York to pursue that, because I started actually in runway, which is kind of funny, but I kind of like, started eating more sandwiches, so I kind of grew out of the runway thing.
Yeah.
But when I got to New York, I had a modeling agent and then an acting agent, and the acting agent did predominantly background. And the very first thing that I did was Gossip Girl at it was at Grand Central.
Yeah, Grand Central. Yeah.
And it was really cool. It was like, I didn't know what Gossip Girl was. I could care less, whatever. It was a paycheck, but it was like pretty fun. And then I forgot all about it. And of course, like I saw commercials for Gossip Girl, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Whatever. So the interesting thing is that a lot of these shows, what they do is they don't really tell you the name of the production. They tell you like the title of the show, right? So episode 106, is The Whirlwind Potato, right? So you'll never really know what the show is for some reason. They like to keep that under wraps.
Okay.
Yeah. But this was for Gossip Girl. Let me just tell you that I love being on set, and it was really cool. I met really cool people, and got a little extra time on the camera, but I have to say that it definitely is not like the original. It takes the original Gossip Girl and amplifies that by like 1 million. Everything is like crazy. Yeah. So, but it was great production. Like everybody there was super cool. We were out in the heat for quite a while. But it was a lot of fun, and it was supposed to be fall, and it was a 90-degree day. So
yeah, sweaters on and hats. I'm assuming it was nice.
Man, I had a trench coat on. I was bundled. Oh my God.
I assume are you done with bodybuilding? You're done. You're done. Are you done with bodybuilding? Yeah, that's.
I'm done with that.
Yeah. You put a lot of work.
I like to eat pizza too much, man. I can't be dieting down all the time.
Yes.
However, my current agent predominantly does like pretty much all of the fitness, stuff that you see commercially and in print. So as I'm starting to get, more callbacks and a little bit more work, and I want him to push me a little bit, now I have to kind of buckle down if I want to try to get like he does a lot of Marvel stuff. If I want to try to push in there, I have to start taking it a little seriously. It
was just a joke that my older brother is 2% Terminator because of all the crap you have in your back from weightlifting. You got like all the metal and like the shit in your back from like weightlifting, just breaking part of your body.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. A lot of
you got a bad back, Arty? He's got like freaking metal.
My lower back is garbage from bartending.
Garbage
guy.
Garbage guy. I can barely sit up. Yeah, I know back problems. I feel your pain. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty. You know, as I get older too. Like, I mean, I used to deadlift cars and do all that strongman stuff.
Oh yeah.
Even with the rods, you know, with all the titanium in there. And now it's like, man, even weather affects me. You know, like there are days where I'm kind of like, oh, I can't, you know, deadlift today. I can't walk upstairs today. You know, like whatever. I feel like McGady sometimes, but
you need a card to get to the airport too, don't you?
Like to
get through airport security, don't you have like a card? Because
so I have a card for the wands.
Oh,
yeah, the wands sometimes they're a little sensitive, so I have a card that basically, you know, shows, you know, anatomical neutral, and then it shows where on my body the screws and plates are. They're checked, and then it lists what's in there and then who the doctor was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that, Arty?
Yeah.
What's funny is that every time I go through the metal detector, right, I always have it in my hand. And, you know, they do this thing where, like, you know, you're like this, and I hand it to them, and they look at it like, the fuck is this? Where is this? And then they wand me, right? And, like, the joke, I used to fly so much, like, Newark, it was like a joke, you know? Like, I come to the thing, and I'm like, you know, you turn around, and the screen is now behind me to show where anything is going to trip up. And I'm like, all right, today it's going to be chest area. And like it would be the chest area. It'll always be like here, or it's always like my groin or something. And I'm like,
jeez.
Whatever.
Crazy.
It's pretty
one last thing. Did you watch Black Widow yet?
I did. Yeah, we went to Pam and I went to the theater to watch it. It was pretty good. I liked it.
I thought it was all right. Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
I liked it. Yeah, it's it kind of had like a Jason Bourne feel to it, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like a Winter Soldier kind of thing, and then it kind of went in a different direction.
Yeah.
But and I didn't like the Taskmaster reveal. I knew that it was going to be, and I get it. It makes sense for that story, but it kind of killed that character, bro. Like that was.
Yeah, I agree. It is what it is.
There you go. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but it was nice to meet. You know, the legend.
Virtually.
I've known Adam for 10 years now at this point. So
wow, you have all your hair still. That's crazy. I can't even believe
genetics. It's the American Indian in me, I guess, right?
Wait. Before we go, really quick, what is Adam like at work?
He's actually very helpful. He's kind of a little borderline kiss ass sometimes, you know.
What do you mean actually? That's kind of funny. He's actually kind of helpful. Like you would expect him not to be
today. All right, I'll go to Olivia. I'll go out of the box for a second. He's very helpful. He means well, and he wants to participate in the hiring process, which he knows what to do and he knows what he does. So he told the boss today, and I was like, and the boss like, yeah, all right, that's a good.
Well, I said I would review because here's the thing: our boss is losing his fucking mind. Okay. Right, he is right. And I am worried. I'm starting to worry now. He's gonna throw in the towel and be like, I just can't do this.
We're all gonna be unemployed. We're gonna be sitting there on the street corner like, oh fuck, we're gonna do that.
So he said before he doesn't want to look at applications because like it's just a lot of reviewing process. And I'm like, well, how about you have them sent to a separate email address? I will read them. I'll pick out 5 that I think are the best. I'll hand those 5 to you. And you interview those 5.
Makes it easy for everyone,
right? Because he doesn't want to read. He's like, he doesn't want to do all that. And I'm just like, I just don't want him to lose his fucking mind and leave it.
So like Arty said, basically you're kissing ass. It's basically
it's not kissing ass. That is me being a team player.
Well, no, yeah, in that company, the totem pole, in order to get fired, it's like you really got to do some bad shit.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I mean, and there's people way below Adam and I that are gonna get the bullet before any of us do it. So we're kind of sitting there like we're like a cruise control. We know that everything's gonna be okay as long as we just show up.
The only thing that could derail that was one of them walking away. Arty says I don't have anything to worry about, but Joe just looks so fucking defeated. It looks like he's just.
Get him a pop. Get him a Funko Pop, Adam.
I could. He does collect them. He actually has a few. He said.
He says he has a few. So yeah, you know, I have don't worry about it. I go, listen, I got a mortgage and a kid. I go, if anyone should be worried, it would be me. If I would tell you, if you see me bailing out, you know, it's probably time to go look for the life raft.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But then again, I am a fucking lunatic, so I might just ride out to the end and see how it goes too. So it's really odd to.
There's no shame in that.
I do work hard. I do pull my weight.
I know he's good to work with. Actually, in fact, it's I've worked with people that I can't stand. At least you know someone to work with the office that you're friends with outside the office. It makes the environment a little more easy to flow with, which is nice.
We usually talk early in the morning, and then like when like 9 a.m. hits, we don't talk very much, and then we just go for like an afternoon walk.
Yeah, you need the walk. Like, we're in the waterfront, so it's nice. You know, you walk down there, it's like
in the pictures, Adam. You showed me pictures, I think.
Yeah, exactly where I am.
Really
Yeah.
And free parking in Boston, which is even fucking great. So.
That's huge.
Yeah. We could sell out spots out on the weekends if we really wanted to. Thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Ryan, Instagram, check you out. Look for you all your work you're doing. Thanks for joining us, man. It was nice meeting you finally.
Nice to meet you too.
Hopefully, when you're up here, we'll all get together for a beer sometime and come visit the parents.
Yes. You guys, I'll have to figure something else out. You guys will drink the booze for me.
There you go. Oh, that's be more than happy to. Trust me, I can drink my share. So
I'm sure, Big Brother, I will be texting you probably some sort of nonsense between now and the weekend about something.
All right, man. Well, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, in the Mallett.
There you go. Yep. He's exactly what I picked. He's like you. You guys are more alike than I thought you guys would be alike, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's funny. The more I look at him, I'm like, shit. Yeah. Well, not in a bad way, but that's me. And like, 7
years. You got a better
years.
handline though. I'm gonna go out there. So
but remember, I am 7 years behind him, so there's time for that to go.
Shit. Yeah. No, it's interesting. I'm gonna check out some of the stuff he's in because that's actually pretty cool. It's actually better to watch stuff like that when you can look for someone and even if it's just the background, like I even like watching like Grown Ups too and Erickson. Like I like to try to find them. Like it's kind of like a game, you know what I mean? It's like, oh shit. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be fucking crazy work. Just sitting there for 12 hours to get we're setting the lights up. My favorite's like they're setting the lights again. It's gonna be another hour. They gotta redo the lights. Really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That's the worst. Yeah.
Turn the light on. Hit the switch.
You gotta really love it. I don't love it that much. Stand out like that much. But you gotta really love it. If you really love it, you love it. It's what it is.
The passion.
So, Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girls. Check that out.
I didn't even know they were rebooting it. I did not know that. But
my sister used to watch that show all the time. She used to love that show.
Not gonna lie, I watched like the first season and a half. Maybe it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad.
Do you know what episode he's in the first?
I have no idea. I'll get it out of him though.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it and try to search him out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like 10 years ago, wasn't it? More than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Blake Lively was hot. She was hot. That was like really good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Flies.
Well, I'm glad he didn't get kicked.
What was that?
I'm glad he didn't get kicked again in the last 20 minutes. I think.
So I'm starting to think now it's my Wi-Fi connection on this computer going upstairs, and I have a repeater. But so I'm actually actually while I was waiting to get back on, I just bought a 60-foot piece of Cat 5 that I'm just gonna literally, when we do the show, just run it down my stairs into the room. So we'll see if that solves the problem, because she says she's not having any issues downstairs with the cable or like anything she's streaming. So I'm looking up here and my phone still has full service for the Wi-Fi. So I'm thinking it's probably they use such a shitty receiver in the Apple computer that it's not picking it up 100%, and when it does, it bails out. So that's base troubleshooting 101, I guess you could say. So, those who are watching, by the way, I still haven't had my car back. So that's all.
Maybe this time next week.
Next episode, I'll get my car back. We'll get a new car. So
maybe.
There it is. Adam, Whirlwind Potato.
Oh yeah. Just check it out. It's there.
Did you post a new video lately?
No.
All right. Because I was on the hell's that thing called? The thing where you can check out the stats on YouTube. No, oh fuck.
Is that why I'm getting so much shit lately? Why, something going up?
No, it's like this website you go to and it checks like the stats for you.
I know all about it. Why? Is something going up or something?
I was checking mine and I have a search and I had like yours searched and like a bunch of people I watched it just to see what the stats are and all that stuff. And I thought it had a new video up there that I don't think I'd seen, but it might have been an older one that I hadn't seen yet. So it was like sticking in the corner. So I was like, oh, did he post a new one? Like usually I get an alert, but yes, you gotta get motivated, right?
soon. I have so much written in. I just haven't.
It's tough when it's like nice out. Like it's great winter project when it's shitty outside and you can't do anything anyways. You know what I mean?
Or when you're getting, like I said, when you're getting overtime on the weekend, the time I'd be using to write or film, I'm making money.
Yeah, you can't blame me on that. You know,
Yeah,
not making money, fucking putting YouTube videos up yet.
Exactly.
Someday.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anything is possible. All right, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Bye.